Good evening, or whatever time of day it is. My name is Max, and I'm doing a tool review on, not Squarespace, hold on, Webflow, webflow.com. Webflow is lovely. It is genuinely my de facto website tool for anything serious. I have another de facto tool that I use for really, really basic stuff on the internet, like a teeny tiny little landing page, and I'll show you that too. But for anything serious, any really genuine serious project, anything that I want to rank on Google, anything that needs advanced functionality, any website that I'm taking seriously and putting out into the world, genuinely looking for customers and to solve a problem, I use Webflow because it just has everything that I need. It has a small learning curve. A lot of other website builders are a little bit easier to use, mostly because they rely on templates. But Webflow is a bit more advanced. Webflow goes top to bottom. I know agencies, entire agencies that run their whole system on Webflow because it has really scalable, powerful functionality for building websites and capturing SEO. But if you want to get learning, like if you want to get started with it, there's a small learning curve, but they have by far, the best documentation I have ever seen in any no-code tool ever. If you scroll to the bottom and you go to university.webflow.com, they just like their videos. I can't remember the guy's name, but there's one guy that's in all of these videos that kind of like just outlines it and is the talking head. I love him. It's just like they've done so beautifully. Anything that you need to figure out, you just Google it or search it here, and it will tell you exactly what you're looking for. So very, very easy tool to learn, but there is a bit of a learning curve. But once you get over that learning curve, I usually say I give a lot of presentations to students at universities. Once you spend maybe an hour a day for like a week or two futzing with Webflow, after that period of a week or two, you are now an intermediate level web developer. That's what I tell students, and that's what I genuinely believe. Like the stuff that you're able to build with Webflow after that little time commitment makes you, the stuff that you could build is equivalent to any genuine intermediate level web developer, and you're gonna be able to do it way faster. Trust me. So, Webflow is awesome, beautiful. I'm gonna compare it to a few other people, a few other website builders in this video, and tell you why I prefer it over other ones like Squarespace or Wix, for instance. So, before we do that, little brief thing, tiny little thing. This is Card. Card is good. I use Card. It is free, super, super simple, and very, very basic. But if you're just spinning up a tiny little landing page, Card is more or less probably what you want to go for. Like that's what I personally use because it's really, really cheap. That's more or less the reason, because I want to save money. If I want to build something tiny, it's not going to rank on Google. It's not going to really do anything beyond show one page. It's a fully responsive one-page website. If I just want to get something up and on the internet that people can see really quickly, I use Card. I like it. It's fine. So if you're looking for a really cheap option, I recommend Card. But it really doesn't go beyond one-page sites. And that's not what it was built for. It wasn't built for anything beyond one-page sites. So anything beyond a basic little thing in a domain name, you're going to want to use Webflow. And that's what I use Webflow for. Anytime I'm taking anything seriously, I take it to Webflow. And I'll show you a couple of examples of things that I've built in Webflow. But first, let's go over the big competitors. There is, all right, that's fine. There is Squarespace, there is Wix, and there is WordPress. And of those three, those are the three dominant ones in this space. They do an enormous amount of marketing, and they've been around for a while. I hate all three of them for my own personal reasons, but I will express those personal reasons. First, Squarespace, it's templatized. I have very limited design functionality, and a lot of other website builders rely on templates, but like you can get templates on any website builder, but you have limited functionality in terms of what you're able to design and how to make it look really pretty on Squarespace, and I don't like that. It wasn't built for design flexibility. It wasn't built for designing something custom and new and creative. It's just kind of, here's a template, pop it in, that works fine. But given that level of functionality, that limited level of functionality, they still charge you for like the same price as most website builders. And I don't, like, it's an average website builder. There are hundreds of things on the internet, but this is an average one. They just do marketing really well. I would say the same thing for Wix. Wix has a bit more design functionality, but they charge you so much, and they lock you into really big yearly plans. My mom was building a website for her thing, and she ended up going with Wix before asking me. I would have told her Webflow. But she created a website. She was locked into this really big, annoying yearly plan. And the amount of functionality that you have, it has a nice studio of products, But in terms of how everything works, like I don't know any agencies using Wix because it's all kind of average, in my opinion. Like it's just an average website builder. It has a little bit more design functionality than Squarespace, but you're still getting charged a really full price for an average builder with limited functionality. Ironically, it says without limits here. I think it's very limited. But it was I used Wix. I've used Wix and I've used Squarespace. I've used both of them before. This is not coming from a lack of experience. They're fine. They're just fine. But they charge you the same amount as like a really advanced son of a gun, and you're not getting that much. Last one I want to talk about is WordPress. I have used WordPress so much, only for client stuff. I used it really, really early on for some basic experiments in like affiliate marketing when I was just getting into kind of like the startup space when I had an internship in college. I've played with WordPress and I've used it a lot for client stuff. I hate WordPress. It's been around forever. To WordPress's credit, it's been around for so long, and they did a really good job at capturing. They were like the website builder for the longest time, and still an enormous amount of the web is built on WordPress. You can do most things on WordPress, more or less because they have a massive library of plugins that people have built. There's tons and tons of WordPress plugins. So if you're thinking of something, yes, you can build it on WordPress. The functionality is there, but every single plugin costs a bit more money. Every single plugin adds to the complexity of using WordPress. It is so frustrating to use. I cannot express how much I hate using WordPress. And every single client that I've worked with always has already built their website on WordPress and forces me to work with WordPress. I've tried to convert so many clients to Webflow, but everybody is so stubborn. And I get it, it's their website, it's fine. It's not their fault. I just hate this program. No matter how many times I use it, no matter how much I practice with it, it's never intuitive. Never. Like I never, ever, ever understand how to use this dang program. But you can build anything you want on it. I would say the same of Webflow, but WordPress, in terms of functionality, I will give it credit. If you use all the plugins and you pay a ton of extra monthly fees, yes, you can get it done, absolutely. It's been around for a long enough period of time. They've built a really solid community of plugins. Great, awesome. But I don't use it for anything anymore, and I hope forever and ever that is the case. I just don't like WordPress. Everything, once you figure out Webflow, it's just so intuitive and smooth. It feels like an artistic process, but WordPress is always clunky because it's an old piece of legacy software. Anyway, and there are plugins to make it easier to use, by the way, but those plugins cost even more money. So it's just a nightmare all through and through. So I really like Webflow. Here are a couple of things that I have built on Webflow and how well they're doing. This is a very silly example, very basic. I threw this up in like no time at all. But it was, this is just kind of showcasing the design flexibility that you have. I love like how creative I can get with Webflow. This is really cool because I created like highlights. So I can highlight over things. I read a book on beauty standards. I read a textbook on beauty standards, took a bunch of notes, was so fascinated with what I learned that I basically wanted to create a map, an interactive map where people can go and learn about beauty standards and how they've changed over the world. And I just created little graphics. It's very simple. But all these are highlighted. I can highlight over things and it'll pop up a new little individual thing. I created this from Webflow from scratch. I didn't use any templates. This is all just from the ground up. There was a way simpler way that I could have done this. This is one of my first like design heavy approaches on Webflow, but it's doing pretty well. It's not doing amazing, but it's doing pretty well. It gets around 200 visitors per month. And this is not at all designed for SEO, but it still shows up and it still does well on Google. There are no blog articles, there is no SEO friendly content. It is more or less just these 3 pages and a little bit of information down here. That is it. That is it. That is all that I did. And it's still showing up and it's still getting 203 users a month. Like, that is beautiful. I know very little about SEO, but I'm also building this other website. This is my most successful website that I have created so far. It is a review website for speakeasies, hidden underground bars in the city of Chicago. I live in Chicago. I really like speakeasies, and Chicago has a ton of them. So I created this website to basically document and review all of the ones in town because I couldn't find a singular resource anywhere else. Very simple. This is SEO-friendly content. I more or less just followed Webflow's guide, like just built into the tool of how to write SEO-friendly content and how to optimize pages. I'm not good at SEO, but it is getting around 3,000 visitors a month, and it's constantly going up. It ranks on the first page. I think it's number like 3 when you search a couple of different keywords. I'm killing it on the SEO front for a city local website, and I know nothing about SEO. I know just the basics of SEO, and I just followed Webflow's general guide on how to. Here, it'll show me errors inside of the system. Here's something wrong with this page currently. Go and fix it. Here's how you fix it. I just followed I didn't even follow guides on Webflow or any SEO guides. I just followed what the tool was telling me to do and how it told me to build pages, and I'm crushing it. So those are 2 of my more serious things. This was semi-serious. This was only semi-serious, but I wanted something with advanced design functionality that I could add some like hover options to, and Webflow had that. And also I wanted it to be SEO optimized, even if there wasn't any SEO content on it, and it works beautifully. Then I wanted to create a genuine SEO approach business, right? And I'm planning on monetizing. I'm planning on monetizing this soon. And I knew that I was going to monetize. I was taking this very seriously as a business. And from the get-go, I knew that it needed blog article content, right? Like each of these is a small blog article. And I also have an actual blog of articles talking about more broadly speakeasies in different neighborhoods. All of this stuff I knew ahead of time was going to be SEO friendly. I wanted people to search Chicago speakeasies and find my website. And so like nothing else popped into my mind other than Webflow. Like Webflow is just what I was like, I have to use Webflow for this. Because no other website website builder that I've tried is as SEO friendly as Webflow. And it was super easy. Like it told me how to build a good website. So I'm having a lot of success with it. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't like Squarespace. I don't like Wix. I hate WordPress. Card is good for very simple stuff. But Webflow, of all of them, I'm gonna go back. Webflow. Oh, my camera cut out. Webflow it's my favorite website builder. And again, if you're going to try to use Webflow and you're going to get started with Webflow, I do genuinely, seriously, hugely recommend university.webflow.com. It's not just a tutorial, it's an experience. I love how they've documented how to use their tool. And they have courses, certifications, and if you're looking to get into web development generally, Webflow, like university.webflow is a great start. They have certifications to prove that you are great at their tool. So, that's more or less my thoughts. I don't like other website builders. I don't plan on switching to anything ever. I really love Webflow. For anything serious that I'm doing, this is the tool that I use, and I think I've made myself abundantly clear as to why. So, thank you so much for watching. To the next tool review.